What's up, Armor Down? Bet you're wide awake. Ha! I'm chilling. I'm good. Good. I'm excited to be here to talk today. The reason I'm excited to be here is because I'm having these kind of awakenings around the practice, and in particular, an awakening around what the moment is, right? So we talk about mindfulness as non-judgmental present tense awareness, right? It's a bunch of words. And, as soon as you get into all these words, non-judgmental, what does that mean? Present tense, present moment, I guess, okay. Non-judgmental present tense awareness. Thank you, John Kabat-Zinn. But what does that mean? So non-judgmental. So judgment is a part of the story. Where does judgment come from? It comes from our constructs of society. It comes from cultural constructs. It comes from our own personal structures. So judgments are created. It's not just simply something that are just there. Judgments are very much a creation. So creation, where does that come up with? Oh, well, we got this whole predictive processor thing. Remember this predictive processor, this idea of what the brain actually does? So the brain is this predictive processor, meaning it's taking the world in and projecting it out in an ever evolving kind of way. So what you see isn't simply what's there. What you see is what you're projecting and what you're getting feedback through your senses. So it's not out there that you're seeing this, it is projected out there, and it's a constant kind of thing. The same way the bits and the ones and the zeros and the data is projecting me onto this screen to you, this projection, it's very much like that. Like the brain is projecting the world that you see in a way that you can see it and interact with it. Okay. That's hard to get your head around. It's hard to think about. So it's there, right? The world is there, but it's not just there by itself. It's there because your brain has the capacity to interact with the colors of light, interact with all the matter out there. You have sensation, you can touch it. Any piece of your kind of world gets taken away, then your ability to perceive that part of the world also gets taken away. Okay, so this notion of non-judgment or its relationship to this predictive processing brain is really important, because it basically argues that the stuff that's out there is out there because we have decided it's out there, and it's out there because our brains are projecting it out there. So in a sense, it's very much your construction of the moment that's really, really important. Okay. Your construction of the moment that's really, really important. It's what your brain does. It's what's happening in your subconscious. You're not even aware of all this. Now, out of this predictive processor, imagine the predictive processor is 100 billion megabillion bits, right? Super, super grand. Okay. Now, out of this predictive processor comes the mind. Okay. The mind is like, instead of 100 gajillion bits, it's like 100,000 bits. So it's infinitely smaller in its capacity because it's what you're conscious of, and it gives you your identity. Okay. So if you were just all that is, you would be nothing. So mind comes on, everything, mind, right? Mind, my mind, me, right? So the mind, the story. Okay. Got it. All right. So you've got this predictive processor going on. It's that over there. As soon as I turn, my memory of over there is going to visualize over there for me, and then what over there actually look like is going to get recreated in terms of a correction by my senses, and then the picture will be okay. That's how fast it's happening, right? It's how fast it's happening. So it's kind of like my hand here in this. So what's happening is all around my hand has been kind of made taken away the deed, made fuzzy, right? But my hand is clear. Okay, so this exists, right? All this is there, but the only focus is here. So this is kind of like this is the predictive processor. This is the mind, right? This little piece right here. This gives a unique relationship to all this. I know I'm talking. I do that, and I know it's hard, but I'm trying to get to this point. Okay, so we play a role in what we see. Okay, now if we take the theories, all right, if we take the theory of predictive processing to be accurate, and we experience our lives as this, we can back it up with ancient science, ancient experiential science from Zen and Buddhism and also the kind of stuff. We can back that all up. So this isn't just for nothing. Then what we're actually doing when we come into a non-judgmental present moment is we're coming into a moment of emptiness. Emptiness isn't empty. Emptiness isn't without. Emptiness is just what the moment is underneath all the layers that we put on top of it. So this is emptiness. This is existence, but it's not empty. The hell are you talking about, Ben? But think about it. Okay. The moment includes all of our thoughts. What's driving our thoughts? Our culture, our identity, our bodies, all these layers, okay, are giving this empty moment form. Let's talk about quantum physics. Let's talk about the atoms in our bodies. Let's talk about the molecules that make our bodies up. The physicalness of our bodies isn't quite right. It's not quite that. It's much more than that, because if you actually look at the matter, the things that actually have substance, there's more space in our body than there is substance. What? No, I'm not. I know. This is ridiculous, right? But look. Okay, this is the moment. It's empty. Okay. But its emptiness is what gives the form of existence. Okay. The moment is the frame for the experience and sensationalization of the emptiness. Now, one of my kind of interactions with the ancient traditions and all the theories is that what you want to do is you want to collapse your identity and get to emptiness. And like this is emptiness, right? This is a place you stay. Enlightenment, right? You walk through life, you see the emptiness all around and you walk through life. I don't like that. I'm not really interested in that. My interest is that emptiness is there and that I can interact with that emptiness anytime I want to. Anytime I want to, I can recognize all the layers that make up the moment, and I can slowly peel them away, and I can center myself in emptiness. Because emptiness is what makes me me. It is the emptiness of the moment that I build on top of. I am the framework of emptiness. Without the framework, there would just be emptiness. I am the frame that gives emptiness experience and sensationalization. But the emptiness is the key element. And this is the paradox. Emptiness isn't empty. Okay? There's not nothing. It's simply empty of all the forms that make up my identity, that give me my senses, all those kind of things. Emptiness is the ground. Emptiness is the space from which all these things, all these layers, kleshas they're called. There's all kinds of names for these layers. All these layers sit on top of emptiness. But it's not empty because I then choose what to put in the emptiness. Do I want to fill the emptiness with love? Do I want to fill the emptiness with anger? Do I want to fill the emptiness with my thoughts? Am I unaware that the emptiness is there, so I just am my thoughts? Am I unaware that the emptiness is there, so I just am the feelings of my body? You have a choice. And so what we do when we practice mindfulness is we practice our relationship to this emptiness. And it's not I am empty. It's that I come out of this emptiness and then I fill up this emptiness. I resist the notion of emptiness because it's like, wasn't there God there? Or I don't want to, I'm not empty. Empty means that I'm, empty means that I'm depressed or emptiness is scary and dark and all this other kind of stuff. That's judgment. it's like emptiness is empty. Emptiness is the frame that gives the experience and sensationalization, or the moment is the frame that gives emptiness the sensationalization and experience of emptiness. That framework, without that framework, there's no other than. Empty is the beginning, but because it's there, it's the other than empty. So it's like this strange paradox that exists in the same time. But that's what mindfulness means. That's what non-judgmental present tense awareness means. It means emptiness. And so you interact with whatever's showing up from that awareness that emptiness is there. Emptiness is at its root. So all your judgments about it, that's all resting on top of emptiness. All your forms about it, that's resting on the top of emptiness. I mean, none of this I'm saying is particularly profound or new. You see it in almost all the readings, all the texts, all the meditation texts. They always talk about, form and formlessness, yin and yang, all these kinds of things. Well, that all comes out of emptiness, and it all is interacting with the stuff that we put on top of it. So this predictive processor that we have, right? It's an automatic kind of thing. It's automatically turning the emptiness into something to experience and something to sensationalize. It's automatic. It's automatically happening. Now, you've got stories of the ancient yogis and meditators and things that can literally turn all that off. And it's kind of mystical stuff, like people sitting in a meditative state for like 6 months and then just coming out, right? So that's not where I'm headed. I'm not interested in that. What I am interested in is recognizing I'm interested in recognizing the layers that make up this predictive process, that make up how I see the world, that I'm interested in interacting with those automatic processes in a way that is kind of evolvable, right? And so what I think we've done is we've basically moved away from this idea of what's really there. We've given it a whole bunch of different kind of layers, and we've said this layer is the best layer, and you do this, that's another layer, and this is the identity that you need, and this is this, and this is that. And we just stopped. We stopped using emptiness. That's the thing about life. Life is what you can create out of emptiness. It's infinite. But empty's infinite too. And so there's this relationship that you can have with this emptiness, which is profoundly useful. It's just profoundly useful. Because if all the layers represent all these things, to include the way we perceive the world around us, then those layers don't necessarily have to be driving forces. They can be choices. We can choose. And to have the freedom to choose, thank God we have America. I mean, thank God for America. God bless America. God bless this idea that you can be free to choose what you want. I mean, it's empty, meaning anybody can choose anything. anything. This is a gift. And all the layers on top of it are what we get to put there. Human beings get to put there. That's the gift. And so if we don't have a relationship to that emptiness, then we're just totally consumed by all the things that are out there, all those layers. And those layers aren't built off of anything that is solid. Those layers are built off of our relationship to each other and our choices. It's our choices. These are the choices that we have made, meaning that there is agency, meaning that you have the ability to, at any time, get into this place, come into this place, and make choices from this place. So that's a lot. I know it's a lot. And I'm just going to just finish up there. Just going to finish up there. We're going to do a really quick centering practice, and then we'll leave it at that, because I think this is the most profound realization that I've kind of come to in my practice, and I'm working at it in a new kind of way. So I'm just going to leave that at that. We'll train it another time. But yeah, that's a big one. All right. No 4 bells today. We'll see you on Tuesday. Later, Down.